three guys, questionable Trey, Hawkins.
Yeah.
How are they looking today?
Trey and Bi will be out, and Hawk is more of a game time decision. He'll go out and warm up, and we'll get some word back to you guys after that.
And obviously, DeJounte is a go, is available. Just what is it going to mean to be able to get him back into the lineup?
We're all excited to have him back. He's a huge part of what we want to accomplish this year. He's a huge part of our team. He's been working his tail off to get his rhythm, get back on the floor. He's excited, and the more that we can get our guys healthy and get them on the floor, the better we can see what our team looks like.
The last game with Alfred and Eve, it kind of looked a little bit like how Eve was playing off of DeJounte in that first one. How do you think that's going to help Eve kind of get back into the flow of things with DeJounte rather early?
I think having DeJounte, having Alfred, guys like that, it's a luxury, and they make the game really easy for everyone else with their ability to see the floor, anticipate where the passes are going to be, and then make on-time, on-target passes. And then they're both elite defenders, and so even in pick and rolls on the defensive end, they're into the ball, they're getting steals, they're getting deflections. So having both of those guys on our roster at the same time, Eves is going to be the beneficiary of having those high IQ point guards on a team like that.
When you look at Toronto, you wouldn't think of them as, you said, getting steals and deflections, yet they're number one in the league in fast break points. How are they able to do that, and what's the emphasis tonight on transition defense for you?
Yeah, they're really good using their length, their size. They're scrappy. They pick you up full court, and they try to cause havoc in that way. And if you're not secure with the ball and getting into your sets with force, they can turn you over. They do a great job of executing in transition. They're a really good offensive rebounding team. So when shots go up, our guys have to have an understanding that you can't just go and try to out-jump them. You got to hit bodies, secure the rebound. Now it allows us to get out an open floor.
Hey, where is Herb in the recovery process right now? What's he able to do right now in practice?
He just had his first sort of contact, one-on-one, three-on-three. So he's progressing, and that's what we want to see. We want to see him continue to progress. We'll have more of an update as he goes through those type of progressions. So he's at 3-on-3 right now.
Pirtle's averaging like 4.5 offensive rebounds by himself. How important is, be mindful of him and the Raptors in general on the glass tonight?
It's a huge emphasis. In order to give ourselves the best chance to win the game, you got to keep them out of transition. You got to take care of the ball offensively. That fuels their transition, and you have to keep them off the offensive glass. They do a great job. Sometimes they send 5 guys at one time, and they're all, long, athletic, physical guys. So it's a huge emphasis going into this game.
And what's kind of the feel on the BI and Trey injuries? Do you think it's something that'll be more than just one game, or is it kind of day to day? Or just what do you kind of think, as far as what you know?
Well, I hope not. As far as I know, it's more of a day-to-day thing, but that's more of a medical, maybe grip question. But as far as I know, day-to-day.
And with somebody like DeJounte, knowing, the idea of bringing him here was to have him be kind of the spearhead, the offense, having a guy that's been out that long and coming back into that role, what's kind of been the emphasis to the guy kind of working him in, but also understanding that he's got to kind of get back into the flow with everybody else and understand, how to execute where he can play at his best, but also bringing the best out of everybody else.
Yeah, it'll be a little rust. That's to be expected for anybody that's missed this much time. But he's excited to get on the floor and attack each and every game, and we're excited to have him. I think he could surprise us and be better than we all think he can. And he's a primetime player. He's been doing it for a long time. He loves to compete, and we'll be excited to get him back.
You kind of already addressed this with that, but have you been able to tell just how amped up he is to get back out there?
Yeah. He's talked about it. Talked about not being able to sleep, things like that, and he's excited. He loves to get on the floor with the guys. He's been great in practices the last few days. So we're ready to get started.
Coach, to build off of that, obviously when you have the conversation of players being great, what do you notice about great players when they're not on the floor? Maybe in how he interacts on the bench, at practices. What have you noticed about the tangible things that he's done?
Well, the first thing you notice is their presence. Their presence in the building, their presence with their teammates. There's a leadership factor that goes into great players that, like you said, the intangibles, pulling guys aside when they need to, calling the team up sometimes when he needs to, but having an awareness, okay, I'm not on the floor, but there's other ways that I can impact our team and impact some of our young guys that's on the floor playing right now. And when you have guys that has that leadership capability, it uplifts your whole program, and DeJounte is one of those guys.
Willie, you talked about transition defense, but what about the importance of getting out in transition yourselves? I think your team is 4-1 when you've scored 15 or more fast break points in game, and you had a season-high game DeJounte played against Chicago 29. So can DeJounte help you push that pace, and are you going to be looking for that to be a big part tonight? For
sure. He's a big part of that. When we can turn teams over, when we can get steals, deflections, we finish possessions, it allows us to get out on the open floor. And that's that area right there is an area that he has excelled in over the course of his career. He's one of the better on-ball defenders. He gets in the passing lanes, he gets steals. So all of those intangibles, they trigger our transition opportunities. Okay, thank you.